I had no issues with it. Like,
yeah. It didn't feel like you were getting put down,
no,
right?
With one exception. With one exception, I will say.
Hello, fans. We're doing the Barbie review. We watched it
this past weekend.
Yeah.
Tuesday.
Yeah,
we did Oppenheimer first. I think we both did Oppenheimer first, right? I was in Chicago, and I took advantage of my time off from work and went in to watch Oppenheimer. And then when I got back, we booked tickets to go watch Barbie. There's a lot to dissect with both of these movies, but we're talking Barbie today, so let's just get right into Barbie. Okay, so, I mean, this goes without saying. There's going to be spoilers ahead, but just to give you a background, right, Barbie, they're in Barbie land, and it's really Barbie's journey into figuring out she's been this perfect Barbie for so long. Stereotypical Barbie is her actual name, and it's her just going out into the real world and realizing things are very different. Ken going out into the real world and realizing things are very different. And then it's just them really exploring who they are as the Barbie toy, but also who they are as an individual, as a being, as an entity, and what is their role in the real world and in Barbie land. And so you've been warned. If you're here, it's probably because you've seen the movie, but we're going to get right into the nitty-gritty spoilers ahead. Okay, so Barbie, a lot of pros and cons, people in the media talking about how great it's been, other people talking about how they didn't like certain messages about it. But let's talk about what worked for Barbie. What did you like about it? What were scenes that you found really enjoyable?
Yeah. So in the beginning, when they're in Barbie land, it shows the perfect day when the Barbies wake up and everything goes right. They float down from the roof and the music is all coordinated with that. But then the next day, things start going wrong for Barbie, and all of the lyrics don't fit with what she's doing. And she's like, "What the heck? Like, this has never happened. This was all new." And I was loving that and just cracking up.
Yeah, I mean, it's her routine it's a perfect routine. It's her perfect life,
the perfect world.
But everything, it's like you said, like the music plays with everything. Everything is in tune, in sync. Nothing is out of line. And then that next day that she's off, it's like minor things. Obviously, it's in the movie. You see like, oh, this is off, that's off. But in like real life, it could be minor things like, oh, normally you have an orange juice or a coffee in the morning, but maybe this morning you realized you ran out of coffee, or your water went out.
Like, when the water is cold, she's like, what the heck?
Yeah. It's imagine your heater breaks.
There's no water.
And you don't realize that until you get in the shower. All of a sudden, it's like, okay, that's one thing that's off. And then you get out, oh, I can't make hot coffee for whatever reason. That's another thing that's off. Oh, I forgot to buy groceries, so I don't have my breakfast. And it's little things like that begin to escalate. Something is wrong in my life.
Yeah.
Which brings me to a correlation that I found. For those of you who have seen Westworld, or Alice in Wonderland, or I mean, really not seen Alice in Wonderland, but maybe read the Lewis Carroll books, Alice Adventures in Wonderland. In Westworld, Dolores, the main actress, I think that's her name, she has this quote that kind of plays in her head. And anyway, she says, "I wonder if I've been changed in the night. Let me think. Was I the same when I got up this morning? I almost think I can remember feeling a little different. But if I'm not the same, the next question is, who in the world am I?" And so that's in Westworld when Dolores starts realizing something is off from her perfect routine, from her perfect world. That's exactly what I thought of when Barbie has that morning. It's just something is slightly off that then makes you wonder, am I different? What has changed in my life today that has made me different than what it's been the last few days? And I think that's really what kickstarts her journey into what is wrong, who am I, and where do I go find answers?
Oh, that was lovely.
And she says, has anybody else thought about dying?
Yeah.
And they're like, what? Dying to dance?
Okay, so let me talk about some of the things, or at least one of the things that I enjoyed about the movie, something that I thought worked. Don't worry, we'll get into maybe some of the more controversial things. Some people, I'm sure, want to hear about that. And we may have a difference of opinion on those things. But for me, something that I really enjoyed from the movie that I've seen social media kind of talk against is Ryan Gosling's role as Ken. essentially talking about how like, oh, Ken is the antagonist. Ken is sort of what drives the bad, road or the bad car here in Barbie Land, kind of throws everything off for a loop. But I enjoyed Ryan Gosling as Ken. He's one of my favorite actors. I thought he fit the role really well. And the thing that I enjoyed was the interaction amongst the Kens. Mm-hmm. So every time the Kens, there's like a rivalry going on, but every time they interact with each other, they're all when they break out into song, like the Ken song, like I am Ken, like
that was a good song too.
The place I'm via 10, like where she sees something nice or she sees a friend, like that whole spiel about Ken being Ken. I mean, he played that role. Like we talked about Margot Robbie being the perfect Barbie. I thought Ryan Gosling he played a perfect Ken. Like you could have cast different actors in it, but I thought his role, the way he approached it was really, really good. Everyone they cast as Ken, including Alan, like Ken's friend Alan, played by Michael Cera.
Yeah.
I mean, some of the critiques about the movie is the way it portrays man or masculinity, but I felt like all of these guys who played Ken, it's like, it's a movie, and we're going to act in it, and these roles are great, and it makes for a really fun movie. So I did want to while the Barbies steal the show, I want to give a shout out to the Kens.
Mm-hmm. And going off that, normally the character that Ken is most female roles in movies, I feel. They're just there to help support the main character, which is normally a male character.
Right. And
so in this case, it was cool seeing it the other way. It's not like he was being put down or anything in any way, but it wasn't about him.
Right. And
which was good.
I thought for people who might have been like, oh, Ken is just an accessory to Barbie in this whole movie, I'm like, well, that's what Ken is. Like, the toy is called Barbie. The franchise is called Barbie. Ken is an accessory to Barbie in the actual just real world in toys. So I had no problem with Ken being, like you said, the side character to Margot Robbie's Barbie, because one, that's the story of Barbie. Like if you were expecting to come in here and see Ken be the front lead guy, I'm like, well, then it should have been called Ken, right? It's not Barbie.
He was there to add growth to the main character.
Right.
Which was good.
And that's what he did, yeah.
And obviously, girls, I think, see it differently than guys. Like when you watched it, we have totally different viewpoints from growing up as a woman versus a guy. I felt very empowered. I felt grouped with a lot of strong, powerful women and really uplifted. But did you feel like supporting women?
Yeah, so the movie definitely supports the female role, the female in society, and it tries to promote a sense of empowerment. I felt all of that. Obviously, that doesn't hit close to me because I'm not a woman, but
it didn't feel like you were getting put down, right?
With one exception. With one exception, I will say. Because a lot of the issues and when I say guys had with this movie, I really mean right-winged, conservative males, which first of all, if you fall into that category, don't go watch a movie called Barbie. And then be offended by the message that you think is coming across from it. Okay, I would say that's your first mistake, is you went to go watch a movie called Barbie. It's Barbie. It's going to be about the female toy, the female character, the female role, and how to strengthen that. It's not going to be about Ken and the males. So, okay, anyway, I'll leave that there. But me going in to watch it, no problem with female empowerment, no problem with Barbie being the lead role. None of that. It was a good movie. It was enjoyable. I thought it was fun. The music was great. The only thing I mentioned was there was one scene. It was just the scene where the mom is talking. I don't think she's just talking to the girl. I think she's talking to all of the Barbies. I think they're having a little Barbie reunion at the crazy Barbie's house.
Yeah. Weird Barbie.
And she goes through and starts talking about what it is to be
a woman.
Right? And she says, you have to, make sure you're thin, but not too skinny. Eat just enough, but don't get overweight. Make sure your hair and your makeup is right, but don't be too conceited.
Go out and have a career, but don't leave your family behind. All of those things were true.
Yeah. So I had some issues with some of that, and like I said, maybe it's just the way that I saw it. I had no issues with any of the problems that I think women have in society, except for that was the only scene where I felt like the issues women have come at, it was like the source of those issues are men. That was like the only part where I felt it was very, very, don't do this, but do that. Don't be like this, but do that. But it all was because of men. Like, they tell you to be this way, but not that way. So like, I can understand other things like being a mother is difficult, childbearing is difficult, being expected to breastfeed when maybe it's painful is difficult. No issues there. The only way that it came across to me, though, at times was these are the issues women have, and it's because of men.
But it's not even just men. Women put pressure on other women, too. It's society as a whole.
Okay, and yeah, maybe that was just my misinterpretation of it. Was I felt like it was all the issues women have are because of men, and I was like, no, like, but anyway, so that was just a small, like, 2-minute clip of the movie. It's the only part where I really felt like, oh man, they're attacking me as a man. But like, my masculinity is not fragile enough that it was like, I'm not gonna stand up and walk out of the movie theater because of that. I was like, I get the message they're trying to send. It's not offensive to me, like.
And it was meant to be over the top, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it talked about a lot of the issues that we're faced with, but it was meant to be that way.
Yeah. But other than that, I didn't find this offensive. I didn't, a lot of the people saying that, oh, it's just, this whole movie is just about belittling men and men are the problem in society. I was like, okay, this is like an hour and a half, almost 2-hour movie. I maybe noticed 5 minutes of this movie, 10 minutes maybe max of, men and the patriarchy and they're evil and they're, and that's even such a small part of the movie where I really think the message at the end of the movie was, figure out who you are and let's try to make this a more equal place. And the message of female empowerment, which was there, I don't have any issues with any of that. Like, it's.
Yeah. There was one scene that I wasn't 100% supportive of. It was funny because it's true. It was the scene where they're all on the beach with their Kens and the Kens are serenading them with their songs.
Right.
And then they're like, and then we make them all jealous by leaving them and going to the other Kens. I was like, or we can just have open communication, but they're Barbies. Like, that's what they're resorting to, which is fine. I think women probably, or not, maybe not all of them, but they do that to a point where they think that's an option just to like make guys jealous.
Right.
I was like, I don't really.
Yeah, I see.
I don't like that part, but it was funny. I still laughed.
They were playing to the stereotypical Ken of they're just very simple-minded. They're motivated by Barbies in front of them, right? It's like you can just jump around, make them jealous. It's like, that's my Barbie, right?
Yeah.
In real life, like, are there some guys like that? Sure. But it's like you said, to go out of your way to try to do that maybe in real life to guys would be kind of a pretty shallow messed up thing. Like, women aren't like that. So it's, and I would say men aren't like that either.
Yeah.
So yeah, I see what you're saying. I actually really like that scene though.
Yeah.
Because it just starts off with the stereotypical guy grabbing the guitar at the party just to play music. Family Guy has a scene. I'll put it up on the video. Exactly like that.
Water. My hair is growing, growing all the time. Look how sensitive I am, 'cause my voice is so fine.
So it's like, it's not like Barbie's doing this first. Family Guy already stereotyped this certain type of guy.
Yeah.
The guy who picks up, what is he in Family Guy? He starts playing the guitar. He's like, this song is called Water. And he's just like playing it in front of a group of girls. He's like, my hair is flowing all the time. He's like, look how sensitive I am, 'cause my voice is so fine. Anyway, and that's what that scene reminded me of. And it starts off with him playing to Barbie, and then 4 hours later, he's still playing to Barbie. Mm-hmm. That was a really cool scene.
Yeah.
We talked about the music a little bit. I loved the Ken song. I don't remember a lot of the other songs, but throughout all of it, I was like, it's just jumpy. Mm-hmm. I mean, what did you think about the music? Anything that stuck out to you?
Yeah, I loved the music, and especially the the very last song that Billie Eilish wrote for the movie. Like,
I didn't know.
It freaking touched me. I cried in the movie theater.
What scene is it?
It's the very last scene when she's talking to the creator of Barbie. The
Okay.
background is all colorful.
Not when she's going to the gynecologist.
What am I made for?
It's that's right. When she's having the
Why-
heart-to-heart.
What was I? Yeah.
The whole
And she
IRS
was like,
thing.
okay, now you just need to feel. And then all of the pictures in real life of little girls growing up. Like, it was just so powerful.
I think we're gonna have a different way that it affects us because I didn't grow up.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have those nostalgic Barbie scenes. Like, even some of the points that they made where you color the Barbie and you mess up her hair,
Yeah.
right? There's a Barbie in the movie that is meant to portray that. I got it and I understood it, but I didn't grow up with that.
Yeah.
So it's like, I wish some of that
And
would.
you didn't have any other sisters.
No.
You didn't have any sisters to.
No, yeah, I
even
grew up
see
with.
that.
It was 3 brothers. I didn't really get to see what it was like playing with Barbie. Some of the Barbies they even brought out that I guess the Barbie with the video on the back, like some of those things. I'm like,
vintage
I don't
ones.
know these. I know stereotypical Barbie. That's all I
Yeah.
know. So you talking about that scene in the movie, nostalgia, as a little girl playing with Barbie, like part of it was defining you when you were younger.
I've been listening to it a lot
I'll have to look it up.
since watching the movie
I'll have to look it up.
hit home. Yes. So overall, very good. I would watch it again. It's very watchable. How do we want to? We can each rate it.
Sure,
out of
yeah.
5.
On our scale of 1 to
Our
5,
rating scale.
what do you think?
I would rate this a 5, just because, which is going to the movies, watching it, because our theater was packed. It was full.
Right.
Like, just being with everybody, that camaraderie, that group. Even if guys were there, like just the power of women and everybody supporting each other. I really liked.
I would rate it on a scale of 1 to 5, a 5 as well. I thought it was, but part of my rating as a standalone movie, I thought it was a very enjoyable movie. Great music, the acting was cool, it was funny. It's kind of a roller coaster. You get everything of emotions. You get really funny, laughy. You get sad, depressing, and you get anger in the middle there. Like it really does touch at all the emotions. But specifically going to the movie theater, I think is a must for what you just mentioned, which is if you wait too long, the buzz might die down. But it was fun to be in there. I mean, it was packed with people wearing pink,
Yeah,
people
seeing everybody's
cosplaying,
outfits.
dressing. I mean, there was also the Barbenheimer half and half people. Like, it was fun. It was like going to Comic-Con, Anime Con, and being able to interact with people that were really excited and motivated to go watch this. So I agree. I think it's a 5. I think it's a must-watch at the movies, and probably the sooner the better. Go interact with other people that are there. It was kind of cool.
I might even see it a second time in the theater. So
They had a photo booth there too, which was fun.
we'll put a picture.
We'll put a picture up. Yeah, people were lined up. I mean, it was an event, is what it was. You're gonna go see a movie, but it was also an event. You're there with a ton of people. Yeah, let us know, Barbie. Did you see it? What did you think? Let us know in the comments. Did you think it was better than Oppenheimer? That was the big. Actually, wasn't even a rivalry, but that was the big duo, right? The 1-2 punch that weekend.
Yeah.
Barbenheimer. What did you think? Let us know, and check out
Cast-
our review for
cast
Oppenheimer.
Your votes. Yep. See ya.
See ya.
I'll